Action. 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. King K. Yo, what's good, kings and queens? This your boy Dawn, and I'm back for another reaction video today. If you're new to the channel, go down below, hit that subscribe button, and notification bell, and hit all so you know every time I post you heard. It's free. I appreciate it. If you're not new to the channel, thank you for tuning back in, and please go down and hit that like button. I really can use it. I really won't say I need it, but I can use it, you heard? I appreciate it. As y'all can see by the title and thumbnail, today we're going to be reacting to a Texas mom who claims she sold her missing son, but they think she likely murdered him. I didn't think that stuff like this really happened, but let's get into it, man. Let's see what's going on. This is crazy, man.
Today, the FBI is announcing a reward for up to $25,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of Cindy Rodriguez Singh.
An international manhunt is underway for the mother accused of murdering her disabled son.
We are truly unified with the common goals of seeking justice for Noel and sharing the message that there is no such thing as a throwaway child.
I have the sad case of Noel Alvarez with a former FBI agent. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Noel Alvarez was a 6-year-old boy living with his mom in Everman, Texas, outside of Fort Worth. In October of 2022, he vanished. But the search for Noel didn't start until March 20th of 2023, when the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services asked police to perform a welfare check on the little boy. The FBI says during that welfare check, Noel's mother, Cynthia Rodriguez Singh, lied to officers when she told them that Noel was living with his biological father in Mexico and had been since November of 2022. And the chief in Everman, Texas, said that Cindy Rodriguez Singh told a whopper of a story to a family member.
Cindy told family members different stories about the whereabouts of Noel, including that she sold him to a lady in a Fiesta Mart parking lot. 2
days after the welfare check, Everman Police Chief Craig Spencer said Cindy Rodriguez Singh, her children, and her husband Arshdeep Singh boarded a plane for India.
Yeah, so the plane tickets were actually purchased on a credit card that belonged to Arshdeep. So the tickets, remember, were purchased roughly 24 hours, less than 24 hours before they left the country. And those were purchased on a credit card. This money was stolen mere hours before they even left the country. So likely to give them some cash to be able to flee the country with, so they could afford things, I guess, when they got there, is my speculation on it.
Now, Spencer said hours before, Arshdeep Singh was caught on bank surveillance cameras depositing money into an account.
Additionally, financial records indicated that the plane tickets to India for Cindy, Arshdeep, and all 6 children were purchased on a credit card belonging to Arshdeep. Investigators also noticed an abnormally large cash deposit into Arshdeep's bank account. This deposit took place on March 22nd, just hours before fleeing the country. Through data analysis, investigators learned that Arshdeep had paid a visit to one of his places of employment prior to making that cash deposit. Arshdeep had access to the company's safe as a part of his normal job responsibilities.
Police searched tirelessly for Noel. One area that was of interest, a patio at the family's home.
Cindy told family members to lie to police about
no plan to ever come back to the U.S., at least for a minute. They're going to probably send the kids first.
Seeing Noel recently, family lived in squalor, however, chose to spend nearly their entire tax return on a newly constructed patio for a home that they don't even own. According to the contractor, she was in a hurry, was indecisive, and even requested the patio be thicker in a certain area. Arshdeep disposed of a single indoor-outdoor carpet in a dumpster the night before leaving the country, however, leaves the remainder of the squalor and trash behind in the home, shed, and backyard. Multiple human remains detection canines alert to both the rug as well as under the concrete patio.
Something indication like that's in this area.
Police released that footage of a canine alerting on a carpet from the home. To this day, there's been no sign of Noel. Police discussed when they believed a plan was hatched to rid the family of that 6-year-old little boy.
So in mid-October, we know that the newborn twins were discharged from the hospital. And we have had eyewitness testimony that states Noel was at the residence for about a week after those twins came home. November 1st is when Cindy and all 6 kids went and took their passport photos. On November 2nd, there were applications applied for passports for Cindy and all 6 kids. Noel was not included in any of those.
Last October, the prosecutor in Tarrant County, Texas, charged Cindy Rodriguez Singh with capital murder for Noel's death. Now the FBI is offering that $25,000 reward for Singh's capture.
Today, the FBI is announcing a reward for up to $25,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of Cindy Rodriguez Singh.
We are truly unified with the common goals of seeking justice for Noel
and sharing the message that there is no such thing as a throwaway child.
The murder of Noel Alvarez is such an incredibly horrifying story, but we're able to tell you about it because of sponsors like Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan has more than 1,000... Tracy?
Well, right now, it looks like the FBI has issued a UFAP warrant, or an unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. So my guess is they are working, the FBI has a legal attaché office in New Delhi. So they are most likely working directly with them, which is good. And we have an extradition treaty with India. However, she also has ties to Mexico as well. And so she could be there. Obviously, we have extradition treaties in place with Mexico, as well as a legal attaché office there as well. So I guess the good news in that is that the FBI has very healthy and robust relationships with both of these countries.
India is a huge country, as we know. And while we do have a good relationship with India, it's a huge place. I mean, is it easy to maybe disappear there? But I mean, in this day and age, I don't know how easy it is to disappear when you've got things like cell phones and everybody's using credit cards and things of that nature.
Oh boy, you could go without a cell phone as an adult and you want to run. Come on now. As a kid, that's a little different. If you know you're trying to be on the run, you can go without a cell phone. And she's a female in India. She's going to be scarfed up the whole time. Literally. She don't even got to say a word. She don't even need her ID.
So I think you sort of hit the nail on the head, if you will, Anjanette. I think in this day and age, in my opinion, it's impossible to disappear. However, you can disappear for a certain finite period of time. And that's what the question is how long is it going to take? And you're right, this is a very population dense country. What I suspect the FBI is probably already doing, as well as in cooperation with India itself, is really tracking her from her first entry point into the country. Because remember, she did use passport and she has her family's passports. It's a large family. And so my guess is they will start from that moment, right when she cleared customs, and actually start using things, as you mentioned, like digital evidence. So CCTV footage around the airports, anybody that would have picked her up and gone through tolls and those kinds of things, they are going to actually start there and start working out and broadening that net. Now, that's going to take a long time.
Yeah, I would think it would. And she fled over a year ago. I mean, March of 2023. And now they're issuing this reward. So do you know why they would have taken so long to issue the reward? I mean, is a reward kind of a last ditch effort? And why 25,000? Is that just kind of the minimum for an FBI reward? Or I have all these questions about it.
I think those are all very valid questions. I think that the issue here that we're looking at is, and I have to agree with you, I'm a little bit surprised in that it took this long to issue a reward. In the case of Caitlin Armstrong, if we look at that one out of Austin, that was actually pretty quickly, within 7 to 10 days, quite frankly, of her disappearance. So you're right, it's been about a year-ish and a half here. So that is surprising. But a lot of times what will happen is when you up a reward to a certain dollar amount, sometimes it's 15,000, sometimes it's 20,000, that then increases the amount of federal funding towards recovering this individual and towards, finding him. And so I think that, in my opinion, is probably why. However, I have to say, I wish that they had put it in sooner.
It does seem like it's been quite a while. I mean, they knew she left the country, as we just talked about, a year and a half ago. So this has been a long time that they've waited. And obviously, they have no hope that poor little boy, Noel, is still alive. I mean, we have cadaver dogs hitting on areas of the home. They dug up the patio. They did not find him. So, I mean, it's a very, very sad case. And they believe he's dead. His mother's charged with murdering him. So it doesn't get any more serious than this. I mean, I think they've done what they can, at least, to try to find him. And they've determined that he's gone.
I do think that they have done what they can. However, we've just issued this reward to find her. But you know what? This case goes all the way back to 2022, quite frankly. And so, we're looking at 2 years now of no reward, not just a year or a year and a half. And I think that's what's a little bit surprising to me. I suspect, although I don't know, that the FBI and local law enforcement as well also had a warrant to start looking at the data on her phone and have been doing so. But that would have also tipped them off to her leaving the country. And so I think that's a little bit surprising to me as well. My guess is they let her leave the country because they simply didn't have anything to concretely charge her with. As you mentioned, yes, cadaver dogs did hit in the backyard, but Noel has not been recovered yet. And so no body obviously can make things very, very difficult. But I would be interested to know what kind of information they were getting off of her phone, because letting her leave the country, they had to have known she was applying for passports, is a bit risky, quite frankly.
Yeah, I don't think they did have enough to hold her or to prevent her from leaving at the time that she left. But it is an incredibly sad case. I mean, this poor little boy, she's telling people she sold him apparently to somebody in a grocery store parking lot. I mean, these are just not the types of things you hear about. And he was mistreated from everything we're reading and hearing about from the police chief as well. And then obviously she's fleeing to India with other children. It's almost like the police are saying this child was a nuisance to her and he was discarded.
Well, it sounds like there were issues. I completely agree with you. But I also think on top of that, multiple children in that family had also been in and out of foster care, to include little Noelle. And they had just recently actually been returned to their mother. And I cannot imagine how some of those foster families must feel right now, having been with those children and helped those children only to have them return to the very person that was abusing them and that I believe, although I know it's alleged, ultimately killed one of them. And so this is, in my opinion, a breakdown of the system in its entirety, from the foster care system to child protective services. Everyone, in my opinion, failed these children.
It does seem like that, since he was not seen from October of 2022, and then the welfare check doesn't happen until March of 2023. So we've got 5 months that pass. It's pretty concerning and frankly horrifying. Tracy Walder, thank you so much. We hope somebody with some information comes forward and tells the FBI and whomever else in India where Cindy Rodriguez Singh is. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's it for this episode of...
Yo, that's really just sickening, you heard? If you didn't want the kid, just let them stay with the system and let the system find them a better home, you heard? Moral of the story is, if you're on the investigation side, make sure you do your due diligence when it comes to reporting in and taking and watching over these children that's in these unstable homes. And if you're on the family side, if you don't want to take care of your kids, just let the system take them and put them in a great home. Just shot of it before this. About to go shoot another one right now. I'm going to see y'all there. So beat me there, you alright? Peace. Love. Dawn. You know the vibes. DONLILREACTS. Y'all already know what to do. You heard. Hit that subscribe button. Notification bell. Thank y'all for popping out. Peace. Love. Dawn. You know the vibes.